Shy's first episode, the second season, opens with Teru, Shy, Japan's designated hero, giving the audience a rundown of key information about her world. Vilio, Shrimpy, asks Teru to buy tofu at the shop before she goes for a jog. After that, we cut to an unidentified nation. There, over the phone, Pilz, Lady Black, Switzerland's designated hero, alerts someone to the catastrophe that has occurred here. Pilz asserts that greater funding is required for relief supplies. Pilz informs her that her ally has to gather supplies and money because this nation does not yet have a hero. Call ends with Pilz. Next, we cut to Tony, the designated hero of England, Stardust. He's in a studio right now having a conversation with a man named Davy. Tony requests that Davy transfer $50 million from his account to the Black Cross. Tony and Pilz are members of that medical group that is led by Dr. Schwartz. Tony also wants Davy to organize fundraising on behalf of his buddies. Furthermore, Tony requests that Davy disclose his work schedule. Pepesha, Spirit, Russia's designated hero, goes to a cafe and puts some change in a jar in the meantime. When the elderly employee thanks Pepesha for stopping by, Pepesha responds that it's okay. Pepesha leaves and waves to everyone she meets while out for a walk. Then, we cut to Mingming, Mianlong, China's designated hero, receiving instruction in a distant location. His pals want him to take a break from his training and go somewhere with them. After that, we proceed to a military base for general training. A fellow soldier informs him that multiple children have come to take part in a disaster rescue exercise alongside him. We find that the general's name is Adam Rockwell when he greets the children. Adam's designated American hero is a man by the name of Century. We then resume following Teru after that. Teru is exhausted from her extensive jogging. Teru then gets a text message from Iko. Iko's brother Daigo bought something, which Iko texted Teru a picture of. Teru feels ashamed that Daigo bought a Shy t-shirt. Pilz attends to the wounds of a few folks in the interim. A worried citizen is reassured by Pilz that she and the Black Cross will make every effort to assist them despite their fears that nothing good will happen to them. A monkey, meantime, takes Mingming's food. Prior to Mingming and the monkey fighting, we cut to Pepesha in a pub. Pepesha listens in on two men as they talk about a local Russian robbery that is taking on. Pepesha gets word of a nearby issue from one of Adam's sergeants before he departs to help the Russian officers. Adam tells his sergeant to watch the kids so he can take care of things. Then, a girl in Teru's vicinity experiences something. A glimpse of every hero that has been previously shown to us is seen. They all change into their superhero/superheroine avatars by using their hero rings. Every heroine and hero comes to the rescue. The girl Teru saved asks her who she is, but everyone gives her admiring admiration. Teru tells the girl she's named Shy that she's embarrassed. After leaving the situation, Teru heads back home. When Teru gets home, Shrimpy asks her if she brought the tofu. Telling Shrimpy she didn't get it, Teru says. Then, Teru is interviewed at a restaurant by Tajiko, a female reporter. Teru is in shock that she is being interrogated once more. A flashback set occurs at some point prior to this interview. Tajiko is working on a project there for the Akita Press. Tajiko gives her supervisor, Natsukawa, her report. Natsukawa informs Tajiko that there are several problems with this report. Tajiko is informed by Natsukawa that he would like her to write a new piece. Tajiko runs away in search of creative inspiration. Tajiko sees Teru, in spite of his difficulties, prevent a youngster from being struck by a truck. The previous scenario, in which Tajiko questions Teru about her heroic work, is next revisited. Teru can order anything she wants, according to Tajiko, as long as she's willing to complete this interview. Teru agrees and tells Tajiko some information about herself and her responsibilities. Sadly, Teru withholds from Tajiko any delicious information about herself that would enable Tajiko to write a fantastic piece about Teru. When Teru indulges in her sweets in front of Tajiko, Tajiko comes to the realization that heroes aren't all that unlike everyday people. Why did Tajiko decide to become a reporter? Teru wonders. Tajiko claims she doesn't know why she did it, but she simply thought it was a beautiful job. Teru gestures toward Tajiko's agenda. Tajiko takes it up and remembers how her grandmother encouraged her to pursue a career in journalism. Tajiko believes she is a failure, but Teru tells her otherwise and provides reasons. Teru says that Tajiko is viewed as a hero by some people. Tajiko acknowledges this, says something nice to Teru, and keeps interviewing her. Subsequently, Tajiko goes up to Natsukawa and requests permission to write a new essay. Natsukawa approves of her and expresses happiness that Tajiko is driven by this piece of hers. Saying she will devote this piece to Teru and her grandma, Tajiko sits at her desk. A few weeks go by. While at a store, Teru and Iko see that Tajiko's article has been released. Teru is embarrassed when Iko reads the piece. Teru declares that she wishes to purchase every magazine in the store. Unilord talks about Stigma and his organization, Amararuku, in the meanwhile. Unilord is curious about Stigma's ambitions. The scene then cuts to Stigma and his associates talking about Sveta, Popesha's mother, and the heroes who serve at their base. Stigma seeks to eradicate heroes from the world. After that, we cut to an unidentified girl. She is traveling to Japan by rail. The girl says she's delighted to meet Shai, Teru, as the program comes to an end. The program review. With a recap-heavy episode, Shai makes a comeback. The protagonists and antagonists of the program are, somewhat, reintroduced to viewers in this chapter. A few new characters are also introduced, including Adam and Tajiko. It remains to be seen if those characters will play larger roles this season. Fans are also given a heartfelt perspective on heroism in this episode. These two conversations, Teru's interview with Tajiko and Tony's comments to Davy, will serve as a helpful reminder to viewers that feeling heroic doesn't require superpowers or elaborate costumes. You will obtain the mantle simply by making outstanding contributions to society. Aside from its poignant sentiments, this episode featured some enjoyable comedy moments. Mingming's altercation with the monkey and Teru's fearful responses to objects are a couple of instances. Not only did this give viewers a brief preview of the secretive female character's wish to meet Shai, Teru, but it was also a fun method to reacquaint fans with Shai. Although the episode's plot was somewhat uninteresting and the graphics were a little blah, we have high hopes for the next few chapters' amazing material.